when you work with the season instead of against it. You're preventing burnout before it starts. Welcome back to the Glow Up Revolution podcast. I'm your host, Megan Winkler, and here we talk about all things radical recovery, aligned living, actual magic. And today we're talking about one of my favorite topics, seasonal alignment. I don't know about you, but I'm tired. I know you're listening to this on Monday, but I'm recording it the Friday before. And I'm a little sleepy. And I think a large part of that is because my body is ready for fall. And so today's topic is all about a fall energy reset and how you can shift your self-care and even your work rhythms with the flow of the season rather than against it. So let's just dive in. Sound good? Fall is absolutely my favorite season of the year. It's such a beautiful transitional time. I love that we get out of the crazy heat of summer here in Texas. The days get a little shorter, the days get cooler, they get breezy again. There's this really hot stillness that can happen during summer here. And it seems that we either have that or we have like a really hot wind that just feels like you're standing in front of a blow dryer. However, as fall sets in, things just start slowing down. We have kind of a second spring. I know a lot of people talk about like, oh, it's a false fall. We almost have like a second spring here in North Texas where, it has been raining some. So things are greening back up after the sweltering heat. And the birds are singing again, and the windows can be opened. I just love it. But the problem is we live in a society where we are so productivity obsessed that we kind of expect to keep our pace up throughout the year, no matter what the season says. And this can leave us a little drained. Hello, I'm raising my hand. It can leave us a little cranky. It can even leave us flirting with burnout because a lot of times it means the kids go back to school. It means there are no new vacations on the horizon to look forward to. The next big break for most of us is Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving can be a lot of work, especially for women. So it feels like we're entering this darker season, which we are to a certain extent. But also there's some things that it's like, oh, I don't want to work that hard, or I don't feel like there's something to look forward to. The thing is, with autumn, it's a release. The trees are starting to shed their leaves. We've got those late season vegetables and fruits coming to their ripe season before everything starts going dormant. And during autumn and winter time, actually, I heard someone recently explain that that's when roots get stronger. So the energy of a tree, for instance, during spring and summer is to the leaves and the flowers because that's how they reproduce. In the autumn and the winter, it's into the roots and into the earth. It's a time of harvest here at autumn as well. We've got reflection. We've got preparing for the winter ahead. Our ancestors would have been wrapping up harvest right around now and into October. And when we fight this energy that our nervous system and really our genetics are still tuned into, it can be a disconnect, right? So the pace of change is so fast that our nervous system is not keeping up. And we have not learned yet through the generations how to modify our behavior so that we can keep up with the pace of change, keep up with the pace of production, all of that through those months when our bodies are saying, hey, this is when it got dark a lot earlier than before. This is when we're eating soups and stews and breads and, those winter vegetables like squashes and pumpkins and, the leftover cabbage and stuff like that. Meats, like these hearty, heavy, dense foods, right? We are going to bed earlier. We're sleeping longer at night because the light has gone early. We're up underneath our bear skins or, hide clothing or whatever it is, right? Wherever our ancestors hail from. That's what our nervous system is expecting, but we're still cramming our schedules. I mean, I have friends who have kids in athletics all year long, and they start training in like July and early August for the football season and the cheerleading season and all of these things. And it's just like during the season, there's practices and games and all this stuff. When our bodies are wanting to calm down, the world is saying speed up. So if we can honor the slowing down that our bodies and autumn both want us to have, if we can honor that in small ways, we can help create balance and resilience for ourselves as we move through the things that we have to do every day, right? The things we have to keep up with every week. So we can start by resetting our work rhythms. People go in and out of town during the summertime, especially if you work at a company where there's a lot of interlocking roles. Maybe everybody's back home from the weddings and the Disney trips and the vacations to the beach, all that. So now's a really great time just to kind of reset your work rhythms. And if you own your own business, you can do this as well. So when you look at a few things, the first thing I want you to look at is batching and prioritizing. So you can have this energy that feels like it's over here and it's over here, it's over here, it's over here. It's very like fiery energy, right, from the summer. So instead of trying to do like 50 things at once, batch similar tasks together and focus on what's truly essential. This is what energetic containers is all about. So you're going to put your different energy load tasks together into these containers in your schedule. And I'm making all of these gestures so you really get this visual. So if you're watching on YouTube or on Patreon, that's what all this, I'm like packaging up this bundle of energy. And make sure you're prioritizing. Make sure you get your big rocks first. Remember, big rocks is a story of the jar with all the different rocks and sand and pebbles and water. And we put the big rocks in the jar first, then the medium-sized rocks, then the small rocks, then the sand, then the water, right? And so we have room for everything. If we don't put those big rocks in the jar first, we won't have room for everything. So prioritize 2 or 3 things each day at most that you're going to focus on. Bring smaller bursts of work into your day. So you might find that as you move into autumn, you're really energized. I, for one, am really energized. The fact that I'm worn out today is actually the anomaly. It's not the normal mode for me here in autumn. I've just had a really busy week. So if you have bigger bursts of energy, that's awesome. However, if you have shorter bursts of energy, honor that. Make sure that you're focusing on those big rocks during that time. Make sure you're focusing on the harder tasks when you have more energy. And give yourself permission to step away and rest. Get a little micro rest in there. Get up, dance to your favorite song. Taylor Swift has a new album coming out in a couple weeks. My favorite, my goddess, Florence and the Machine, has theirs coming out on Halloween. Get up and dance to your favorite artist. Sit in your chair and just hold your heart center and breathe for 2 minutes. Shake things out. These little micro rest moments will make a huge difference in your day. It's also a really good time to reevaluate your commitments. So look at, what you're committed to, what you've said yes to, and say, does this still serve me? And it's okay to let it go if not. Like if you're a PTA secretary every single year and you just don't have the energy for it this year, it's okay to pass that off. It's not a failure at all. You're doing so much. You're doing more than enough. It's also a great time to reset your self-care. Okay. So in the summertime, we're looking at cooling factors and like cooling face masks and salads. And I love my ice cream in the summertime. But now we're switching to colder months, and it's really great to add in some warm and nourishing foods. You can still have your salads. I like to do things like roast some sweet potatoes and put those on like a spinach salad. So it brings that warmth and that rootiness to it. Throw some nuts and cranberries and pumpkin seeds, all that in there. Roast veggies. Make time for grounding. Update your sock collection. Like, what are your socks doing right now? I have a lot of socks that are probably a little more threadbare than are actually comfortable to wear, and I need to go through and get rid of those. And when I do, I'm going to purchase a little higher quality socks and treat myself. Go to bed earlier when you feel called. The darkness is a cue for rest. So as the days grow shorter, the nights longer, follow those natural rhythms. And as always, journal about what you're ready to release. Light candles, take baths, bring in cozy grounding rituals. It's a great time to catch up on your TBR as well. Big bibliophile over here. So I'm all about the books. When you work with the season instead of against it, you're preventing burnout before it starts. You're building recovery into your daily life. And that's the beauty of aligning with the cycles. It becomes a built-in self-care system. So instead of feeling guilty for needing rest, remember rest is the medicine of fall. And I apologize, I have something in my eye. So we'll wrap up here. As you move into the weeks ahead, ask yourself, what can I release? What can I shift to feel more grounded? Even the smallest adjustments can help create a ripple effect that spells for both relief and continued resilience in today's crazy, crazy world. Thanks so much for tuning into the Glow Up Revolution. If you have any questions or if you want to interact with me, you can find me on social media. On Instagram, I'm at It's Megan Winkler. You can also find me on YouTube at the same handle, It's Megan Winkler. And I also have a Patreon, the Glow Up Circle. I'd love for you to join. Have a lovely week. Take care of yourself. Stay hydrated and stay magical. Bye, my friend.